considering where AWS sits in the market and everyone that attends reInvent, probably the question most people would have is, if I'm a large enterprise and I have multiple teams, multiple desks doing multiple things, how do I deploy 3 of these frontier agents?
Yeah. First of all, let me start off with saying, here at AWS, we are building the foundation for billions of agents, and that's an understatement. So what we launched with these frontier agents is essentially a new category of agents, because while so much of activity is happening in agents, they are historically been more assistants to humans.
Right.
And while we deployed it even within Amazon across tens of thousands of developers to help with software development, we were actually wanting to push the envelope and being able to actually do a lot more, where they are actually autonomous, where you don't need humans to constantly steer them. And they're massively scalable, and they can run longer.
To be autonomous, they need to have an end goal.
That's right.
How does that work? So it's a case of saying, by the way, you use the term AI assistant.
Yeah.
What we're now really talking about is AI coworker.
That's right. And that is the key thing here. It's just like, what these frontier agents are doing is completely transforming how software is getting done in these teams. So much activity happens primarily in like software development, but now these agentic teammates, they show up as another teammate in for software development. They pull up actually jobs from like GitHub task and start coding and clearing backlog. And if you're in the middle of the night actually getting paged to deal with an issue happening with your website, this agent first takes the first page and says, oh, let me look into what's happening and unpack and then find out the root cause so that you can actually quickly resolve it and go back to bed. Like, I've been on call and I know I could use that help. And be proactive so that those issues don't happen. And third is actually a security teammate.
Right.
So it shows up again. And most of security has always been about afterthought. One of the things we are changing the game here is actually meeting developers even before they write a single line of code. When they're designing software, we catch them right there and say, here are the things you should be aware of. And when they write code, we say, oh, don't do that, do this, and actually do penetration testing all before shipping. So now you can view it as like you have the best-in-class developer, ops, and security engineers showing up as virtual teammates for every software team.
You say best in class. What evidence does AWS have that in real-world deployments, running these 3 agents in parallel autonomously has a clear benefit? Either efficiency, productivity. What data can you share?
Yeah, I'll give actually a couple of examples. One is in the DevOps agent that we launched, we ran it across thousands of escalations that happened this year, alone on like incidents and so forth. These agents actually correctly identified the root cause 86% of time.
Right.
That is like really impressive.
86%.
86%. And the second one is Commonwealth Bank of Australia. They actually have a huge cloud infrastructure running across 1,700 accounts. And they put this DevOps agent to test and for a very complex networking stack to debug it. And what they said, what it would take them like hours to debug, this was able to do it in minutes. And these are just few simple examples. Same thing what's going on with security agents. SmugMug is a great photo company, and I'm a big customer, and they are completely automating the security operations altogether using like AWS Security Agent. And these are all the beginning of how this is going to change the game in a big way, because what you want these agentic teammates to be is always be there, and you delegate some of the boring drudgery associated with like ops and security and backlog on development so that developers are empowered to be extremely creative, and you will start seeing 5 to 10x improvement in productivity in a big way.
To recap, it's 3 agents. Kiro is software development. You have the AWS security agent, the AWS DevOps agent. They are designed to run for hours autonomously. To some, that's disconcerting, right? And I go back to my earlier question on, how much concern is there? In the last segment, Colleen talked to me about observability, understanding in real time what's doing. But that sounds to me like it's human supervision.
It's a great question. I mean, this is the nuance and the art of balance we had to do. One, you want these agents to be autonomous and massively scalable, but you also want them to not go off the rails. So first, we have built it with the right guardrails. And second, even as part of development workflow, these agents can go actually take a goal from a developer to say, hey, go work on upgrading this piece of code to the latest SDK, and then start upgrading. But then, as a final step, it might send it for a code review to the human and say, take a look and make sure I'm OK. And once they say I'm OK, I think it's fine. Or they can even configure it to say, if it passes all these tests, you're good to ship it. So that you have built-in guardrails, either through human or automated tests. And these are the kind of things now we are able to actually innovate with the customers as well. And even there, we have done some pure innovation, like introduce automated, mathematically provable property-based testing. So that means now developers can specify their goal, and we can mathematically prove with things like Kiro that whatever it is generating can be tested exactly that way, and it's accurate. So that is like another game changer.